shame is pervasive I feel that. The thing is always, and I wish people would really get that, everybody should hang out with very small children because you see all this stuff coming online. Huh? And so Piaget tells us, the operational phase of thinking, everything is about you. And you cannot manipulate it. So if you get beaten or neglected or beaten up, that is you. And that means that you, every child who gets abused, neglected, etc., no child can say, oh, I'm really a perfectly lovely child. If I'd been grown, lived in a different family, my people would have played with me and they would have cherished me. But I happen to have parents who were not capable of doing that. No child is able to see that. And so if a child gets neglected and abused, kids make meaning out of the world. And the meaning is, for almost everybody, is because I'm a bad person. And because I have bad thoughts and I do bad things, shame becomes a pervasive element of anybody with a relational trauma. It always is because something happened to me. And the other thing is that, and I showed it in some videotapes I show to people regularly, is that the perpetrator that was living out there originally comes to live inside of you. And part of your coping with trauma is to have an internal critic who says, don't mess up, you're a terrible person, to try to control yourself so other people will not do what they do to you. And so that internal struggle becomes a very core part of people's internal reality, including more you get down to things, what is not most hurtful thing is not what was done to them, but how ashamed they feel about their own reactions. Like, I saw my sister getting molested and I didn't do anything. I was too scared. Or I saw my mom being beaten up and I didn't hit my dad to stand up for her. Or whatever. So kids make causal connections. And as an adult, you feel like you should have done something, and not until you really get to really deeply experience what that 1, 2, or 3, or 5-year-old kid went through, and really get to know, oh, that kid was too scared to stand up for themselves, or that kid was too small, or that kid didn't have a chance. And so you need to really revisit the situation and really get a feeling of, man, that kid doesn't have a chance, and so small. But if I had known then what I know now, I would have stopped it. But I'm 54 years old. I'm a karate instructor. Of course, now today I could stop it. But when I was 4, I couldn't. And so kids always blame themselves and are very deeply ashamed about continuing to love their perpetrator, not having done the right thing. It's always very much part of it. And so it's not, there's a lot of focus on that stuff out there. But the issue is that it all starts living inside of you. The trauma is not a story about something that happened in the past. The trauma is how the past is alive and well and living in your body in 2022. And so it's happening right now. And so how do you deal with these parts of you that are getting stirred up continuously right now?